Saving money sounds simple. Spend less, cut back, hunt for deals, and stick to a budget. That's what we're told over and over again. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Many of the most popular money-saving habits people use every day are actually doing the opposite. They quietly drain your wallet, increase long-term costs, and make you feel broke even when you're trying to be responsible. These tricks look smart on the surface, but when you zoom out, they often cost you far more than they save. Today, we're breaking down 7 everyday budget tricks that seem logical, feel responsible, and are constantly promoted online, but end up costing you more money in the long run. We'll rank them from least damaging to most expensive, explain exactly why they fail, and show you how to avoid falling into these traps. If you've ever wondered why budgeting still feels hard even when you're doing everything right, this video will explain a lot. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Now let's get back to the video. 1. Buying the cheapest version. Why number 1? The buy cheap, buy twice phenomenon is the most common budget trap. When you opt for the lowest priced footwear, kitchen appliances, or tools, you are often paying for inferior materials and poor craftsmanship. These items typically have a significantly shorter lifespan, forcing you to replace them multiple times while a higher quality version would still be going strong. The reality: a $20 pair of shoes that lasts 3 months costs you $80 a year, whereas a $100 pair might last 3 years, costing only $33 annually. Beyond the purchase price, low-quality goods often perform poorly. Think of a dull budget knife that makes cooking a chore or a cheap blender that burns out on its first smoothie. You aren't just losing money. You're losing time and dealing with the constant frustration of things breaking when you need them most. How to avoid: practice cost per use thinking. Invest in B-tier or buy it for life brands for items you use daily. Research reviews to find the sweet spot where price meets durability rather than just heading for the clearance rack. 2. Extreme couponing for things you don't need. Why number 2? The rush of stacking coupons can be addictive, but it often leads to buying products you never intended to purchase. Retailers use coupons specifically to drive incremental spending, getting you to buy 3 boxes of sugary cereal just because the 4th is free. If those items sit in your pantry until they expire, or if they displace healthier whole foods, your savings are actually a net loss. The reality: extreme couponing is also a massive time sink. People often spend 10 to 20 hours a week clipping, organizing, and driving to multiple stores to save $50. If you value your time at even a modest hourly rate, you are effectively paying yourself pennies to do manual labor for a grocery store. Furthermore, coupons are rarely for fresh produce or staples. They are almost always for highly processed, high-margin name brands that are still more expensive than the generic store brand. How to avoid: only look for coupons after you've made your shopping list based on what you actually need. If you wouldn't buy it at full price, don't buy it at a discount. 3. Driving across town for cheaper gas. Why number 3? It feels like a victory to find gas that is 10 cents cheaper per gallon, but the math rarely checks out if the station isn't on your way. Many drivers will go 15 minutes out of their way to save a few dollars at the pump, completely ignoring the hidden costs of the trip itself. The reality: driving extra miles consumes fuel, adds wear and tear to your tires, and depreciates your vehicle's value. If you drive 10 miles out of your way to save $2 on a 20-gallon tank, you've likely spent $1.50 in fuel and vehicle costs just to get there, leaving you with a measly 50-cent profit for 30 minutes of your time. This doesn't even account for the opportunity cost. That half hour could have been spent meal prepping, exercising, or simply resting. How to avoid: use gas tracking apps to find the best price along your existing commute. Never go more than a mile or 2 out of your way unless you are filling up a massive commercial vehicle where the volume justifies the distance. 4. Buying in bulk just because. Why number 4? Bulk buying at warehouse clubs is a staple of frugal living, but it often leads to overconsumption and waste. When you have a 48-pack of granola bars, you are statistically more likely to eat 2 at a time because the supply feels infinite. This inventory effect causes you to go through products faster than you would if you bought smaller quantities. The reality: the biggest drain is perishables. Buying a massive bag of spinach or a gallon of cream because it's a deal backfires the moment you throw half of it away. Additionally, bulk buying ties up your liquidity. Money that could be sitting in a high-yield savings account or paying down high-interest debt is instead sitting as dead capital in your pantry in the form of 24 cans of tuna you won't eat for 6 months. How to avoid? Only buy non-perishables in bulk: toilet paper, soap, dry pasta, and only if you have the storage space. Avoid bulk buying treats or snacks, as this savings will likely just turn into extra calories and a faster replenishment cycle. 5. Skipping routine maintenance. Why number 5? When money is tight, it's tempting to skip the $80 oil change or the $150 dental cleaning. It feels like you're saving that money today, but you are actually taking out a high-interest loan from your future self. Neglect is the most expensive way to live. The reality: a skipped oil change can lead to a $5,000 engine replacement. An ignored $100 cavity turns into a $1,500 root canal. A small roof leak that could be patched for $200 eventually rots the structural beams, leading to a $20,000 renovation. Frugality is about managing resources over the long term, and maintenance is the primary way to protect your most expensive assets. By the time a small problem becomes noticeable, the cost to fix it has usually tripled. How to avoid? Treat maintenance as a non-negotiable fixed expense in your budget, just like rent. Set up a sinking fund specifically for home and car repairs, so the cash is always ready when the service light comes on. 6. The DIY disaster. Why number 6? With YouTube tutorials at our fingertips, it seems like anyone can be a plumber, mechanic, or electrician. While DIY can save money on simple tasks, over-repairing things you aren't qualified for often results in a double charge. You pay for the materials you ruined, and then you pay a professional a premium to fix your mistake. The reality: professional tradespeople charge more to fix a DIY gone wrong because they have to spend extra time undoing the damage before they can even start the actual repair. There's also the risk of catastrophic failure. DIY electrical work can cause house fires, and improper plumbing can lead to mold issues that insurance won't cover if the work wasn't permitted. Your time also has a value. If you spend an entire weekend struggling with a task a pro could do in an hour for $150, you've effectively paid for that repair with your only 2 days of rest. How to avoid? Know your limits. DIY for cosmetic things, painting, gardening. Hire pros for vital systems, electricity, structural plumbing, brakes. 7. Buying items just because they're on sale. Why number 7? Retailers are masters of psychological manipulation. When you see a 50% off tag, your brain focuses on the $50 you are saving rather than the $50 you are spending. If you didn't have the item on your shopping list before you saw the sale, you haven't saved a dime. You've simply been talked into a voluntary expense. The reality: this is especially dangerous with clothing and electronics. Sale items are often lower quality versions specifically manufactured for outlets, or they are end-of-life products that will soon be obsolete. Furthermore, the original price is frequently inflated to make the discount look deeper than it actually is. You end up with a closet full of clothes you don't love and gadgets you don't use, all purchased under the guise of being smart with money. How to avoid? Use the 24-hour rule. If you see a great sale, wait 1 full day before buying. If you still want it and can afford it, then go back. Usually, the sale high wears off and you realize you don't actually need it. In summary, true frugality isn't about spending the least amount of money in the moment. It's about maximizing the value of every dollar over time. As we've seen, many common sense savings tips, like hunting for the lowest price or DIYing complex repairs, actually act as a poverty trap that drains your bank account through frequent replacements, wasted time, and expensive emergency fixes. The goal is to move from a reactive mindset to a strategic one. By investing in quality, respecting the value of your own time, and avoiding the psychological lures of sales and bulk deals, you stop leaking money on hidden costs. Remember, if a budget trick requires you to spend more than you intended or sacrifice your peace of mind, it's not a saving, it's an expense.